Hello, I am Rocio Ruiz, one of the EOP, acronym for Educational Opportunity Program Ambassadors, representing SUNY Geneseo.
And I'm Alondra Martinez, an EOP Ambassador representing SUNY Purchase. For this first episode of You, Me, and EOP, you will learn about this program and its significance.
You will also be learning about the EOP Ambassadorship Program and get to know a bit about us, the ambassadors.
Lastly, we will be sharing advice and tips on being a successful individual. Without further ado, here's the Student Advocate and Executive Director of EOP, Cheryl Hamilton.
Would you be able to introduce yourself and tell people a little bit about your role as the director of the EOP program for SUNY?
Okay, sure, my pleasure. So my name is Cheryl Hamilton. I have the privilege of serving as the Associate Vice Chancellor for Opportunity Programs, University Life, as well as the Student Advocate for the SUNY System Administration. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, what are some of the responsibilities that you have as the director of the EOP programs for SUNYs?
Sure. So in my role with the Educational Opportunity Program, I've actually been in this role leading EOP for the past 6 years. And in this role, I work most closely with our campus EOP directors. I work with them in ensuring that we provide on our SUNY campuses the best possible support to ensure the success of our EOP students. I also work closely with campus leadership and external stakeholders just to ensure that our campus EOP directors and our campus EOP programs have the support and the resources that they need in order to meet the needs of their students. Additionally, I'm very much involved in national organizations and some regional organizations that focus on student success. And I meet with those organizations to stay abreast of best practices. I bring those best practices to our SUNY campuses and to our EOP directors just to examine how we might be able to adopt and or adapt those best practices to meet the needs of our students just to ensure they are successful.
Now, for listeners who may not be too familiar with SUNY and how EOP works within that system, would you be able to explain that?
Sure. I'll just start by sharing that I can say very proudly that the SUNY Educational Opportunity Program is one of the oldest, largest, and most successful college access programs in the country. We've been around since 1967. We've graduated more than 80,000 students, many of who've gone on to become doctors, lawyers, engineers, journalists, legislators, and they credit it all to the success of this evidence-based model, this program. So the way EOP works on our campuses, in order to qualify for the program, students need to meet both academic and economic criteria. The students we bring in through EOP are students who I refer to as students of promise. So we bring them in starting in a pre-freshman summer program. The summer programs offer courses, in some cases credit bearing, in other cases just college preparatory, but really focused on preparing the students for the rigors of the campuses that they're entering. Students come in as a cohort, and we certainly encourage the students to work closely with their EOP peers. I always say to our students that among the best resources that they have are each other, and students learn very much in the summer program to lean on each other, but they also have an opportunity to meet campus leadership and to meet some of the faculty who will teach them during the academic year. We work very hard in the summer to foster a sense of belonging there at the campus, to connect the students with the EOP team, with the EOP counselors and directors. In some cases, we have alumni who are involved in the program, and we work on things like, study skills and time management and critical thinking, all those things that students need to be successful. And what I love is that after completing the summer program, our students are ready to hit the ground running, and they do. And I'm very proud of the fact that on many of our campuses, our EOP students are succeeding and graduating at a higher rate than the general student population. During the academic year, students have EOP counselors that work with them. These counselors provide academic advising, personal counseling, career development. They are their advocates, their connection to the rest of the campus. There's also academic support that's provided and tutoring, really modest financial assistance, just to help address the affordability gap. But the nice thing about EOP is that students who come in through the program are eligible to take advantage of all the supports that are available to all students, but they also have these specialized supports that are designed to meet the needs of this population of students.
Thank you so much for explaining that. What message would you share with current EOP students and prospective students?
Just that the sky is the limit in terms of what they can achieve. I would encourage all of our prospective and current students to take advantage of the resources that are available to them in the program. Your counselors, your academic support, your mentors, certainly the alumni. Reach out to the alumni as well. We have a theme in EOP, lifting as we climb. And as you advance to higher heights, I would just encourage you to also lift up the others who come behind you. And again, lean on one another. You are the best resources that you have.
Thank you so much. That was wonderful. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Now let's give a warm welcome to Donovan, our EOP advisor. Hi Donovan, how are you today?
Hi Alondra, I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing good. Can you tell us about your position at SUNY?
Of course. I am the operations manager for the Office of Opportunity Programs here at SUNY Systems in Albany, New York. In that position, I do a lot of subject matter research into the office processes, office relations, office communications, communications and processes between officers and inside the program, but also externally between other departments, how our relationship is established, how it continues, how it proceeds, and goals that the Office of Opportunity Programs has for short-term and long-term. And doing a lot of that research is really taking the time to look at how different ways where we can improve efficiency across those processes, efficiency between communications, looking at different ways that we can just enhance the program altogether. I come with a background in program management, research, and data management. So I'm just hoping that I can be a good asset to the team, as I was just hired probably about 4 months ago. And also just being a previous EOP student myself, I just hope to provide a good perspective into a lot of the things that we do, and just be as helpful as I can. And with that in tandem, I also manage a few programs, including the EOP Ambassadors, as you know, and also the EOP Alumni Network, along with a few other programs that will pop up as we go along. But yeah, those are my main duties here at the office.
Thank you for sharing with us all the things that you're involved with, and I cannot wait to see the fruits of your labor. Can you also talk about your responsibilities as an advisor?
Yeah, of course. So I guess with the responsibilities, I'll just talk about the whole structure of the program and also just coming into it. So the EOP Ambassador program was established to give a space where students chosen from the variety of our different campuses can assist our office in recruitment efforts with incoming students, prospective students, and the list goes on. Individuals who in high school who may doubt college, may question college, who need assistance with applying, assistance with the financial portion, or just need that kind of liaison to know that they're not alone and that there's individuals who can assist with them that aren't far too removed from high school. Because I hear this all the time and I really internalize it, but because I remember it as a high school student, but high school students don't want to listen to like adults. It's like once you're past a certain age, you're considered old to them. So it's like they don't want to hear from you. They're like, you don't understand what we're going through. Even though we've done it and we've gone through it and seen it so many times, they're just like, no, there's no way you can understand what I'm going through. So and that's why we find so much value and so much worth in having a group of students that can really speak on behalf of EOP and what EOP has done for them in personal spaces, intimate spaces, but also official spaces. So that's where we talk about recruitment. We really cherish our ambassadors being in those spaces, whether it be virtually or in person. They make that effort and they desire to be in those spaces and want to give those words of encouragement, that advice, those teachings. And also with recruitment, they also assist with advocacy. Our ambassadors are in spaces where they're speaking to legislators and elected officials. They are advocating for what EOP does and what EOP needs, the struggles that they go through on campus, whether that revolve around different aspects of funding or like just even aspects of diversity. Our ambassadors speak their minds fully. They are best equipped to do it, other than the office directors and counselors themselves. We love to have them there to just speak on that experience because they're in spaces that we don't exist in. When they speak to each other in their dorms, when they speak to each other outside of classes, we don't know those things that are going on, the type of insecurities, the type of struggles that they're going through. So there's really just nobody better to speak about EOP than an EOP student and even more an ambassador. The ambassador program is comprised of anywhere from 20 to 25 students across different campuses in New York State, and they represent EOP in a state capacity. So even though they may speak more on what happens on their campus, they really represent across every county, every city, and they are also willing, and we provide them the space and availability to go where their voice is needed, whether that be traveling from upstate to downstate, going to central New York, going more west, into those places where people really get to see, people really get to have involvement in. And it's just been a very fulfilling process for me, really coming into this position and having the responsibility of the ambassadors. And my relationship with them is really just giving them the space to, well, for one, providing organization and where they can be, where they should be in assisting us with recruitment and advocacy, but also even more making sure that they're developing as a part of this program. Because as much as they're contributing to us, I believe that we should contribute to them as well, and our whole office believes that. So making sure that they're developing personally, professionally, going through a variety of processes. I'm just going to throw it in there that I do know Alondra, and she was part of our Financial Empowerment Institute that two of our officers had spent a lot of time curating, which is Abigail and Mark, who I hope everybody gets a chance to meet later on in a future podcast. But our ambassadors, how do I put it? I just want them to be able to leave us something, And I know they do, because when I speak to all of them, they always talk about how much they just enjoy paying it forward. And talk about how much they don't need anything from us. They just love to be able to speak to students, be able to help students in any capacity, whether it be before college, in college, after college, engaging with alumni. They want to be in those spaces. So I think it's only right to be able to give them something back that just helps them grow, and helps them give back in ways that they can just fully express themselves. So yeah, that's my relationship with them. I am their main liaison between what they do as ambassadors and how they relate and communicate with the office.
Thank you so much for answering our questions.
No, of course.
Alondra had the opportunity to interview Giovanni Harvey, an EOP ambassador that played a large role in the development of the ambassador program.
Hi, Gio. How are you?
Good. I'm good, Alondra. How are you? Thanks for having me.
I'm great. Of course, it's a pleasure. So I have two questions for you. The first one is, how did this initiative of creating an EOP ambassadorship program start? and where the intention behind it?
Sure. Well, I think the ambassador program started. This was about 2020. I was a student leader, as a student body president at SUNY Poly, and I had this idea of how could we create a space for EOP students and EOP leaders to not only gain more knowledge in just the advocacy aspect of being an EOP, but to also gain the experience of being a student leader and representing other students and bringing their needs to the forefront. And I also think, too, about providing an opportunity to students that may have not had opportunities in the past to be in student government or to be a student leader on their campus. And this is a perfect opportunity for us as current EOP students to not only give back to those students that are up and coming, but also to the students who are going to be new to the program. So all in all, I think this is just, a bigger vision that I had of just really providing opportunities and spaces for students to be those leaders that they're already destined to be, and to also, just gain that experience, gain that networking experience, like I said, the advocacy experience, and also just getting a seat at the table to where these decisions are being made that impact all of these students. And I would be remiss if I didn't thank the great and amazing Cheryl Hamilton, who is an amazing champion for students, who is the executive director of this program, for not only giving me this opportunity to see an idea that I had grow into fruition, but also providing that leadership, that support, and that mentorship to all of us that makes us successful. The last things I want to give to is to all the office staff at EOP, specifically Donovan King, who is like our advisor / big brother / mentor / whatever. Just to give a shout out to Donovan, because this wouldn't be possible without his leadership and his attentiveness to us and to our needs and to seeing us be great.
Thank you, Gio, for that. For your answer, and kudos to Cheryl and Donovan as well. We love them. And my last question is, who is Gio Harvey?
That's a good question. I'm still meeting that guy, but Gio Harvey is a passionate student leader, really just looking to make change in all the places that I go. Being a community college student at first, and then transferring to the school that I'm at now, SUNY Poly, has definitely given me a unique experience, but also just being a BIPOC individual during these last, 4 years of, my life being in college and stuff. I think it's given me just a unique ability to connect with people, to also try to be that beacon of hope and reason and encouragement to folks. And that's what I set out to do in this ambassador position, in the student leadership position that I have with the Student Assembly, and any other positions that I have, because like our motto in EOP says, we have to lift that as we climb. I wouldn't be the Gio Harvey that's here today if other people didn't lift me up as they were climbing on their their ladder of success. So I'm just looking to be, just like I said, just a positive change for, people. I like politics, going to be graduating in May. So, yeah, I'm a drummer on the side, too. I think that's Gio Harvey. I just like to have fun. I like to, be chill, have a good time, help people, see people smile.
Thank you so much for answering our questions, Gio. Have a nice day.
Thank you so much, Alondra. Thank you for having me on this podcast, and thank you to the team putting this together.
Thanks.
During the Chancellor's visit to the 64 SUNY campuses, I had the privilege of meeting him, and here's what he had to say. Would you be able to introduce yourself?
Sure. My name is John King, and I'm the Chancellor of the State University of New York.
What advice would you give to any student who is looking for college or is interested in being involved in the EOP program?
Yeah. Well, I hope that they would look at SUNY because we provide a high-quality, affordable education, maybe the most affordable, high-quality public higher education you can get in the United States, and we offer tremendous opportunities. And if students choose Geneseo, they can get opportunities to do undergraduate research. They can be part of a very supportive academic community.
There are 26 EOP ambassadors, and for this episode, we would like to introduce you to 4 of the ambassadors.
My name is Paul Amanto. I grew up in Gloversville, New York, and I'm currently an EOP Student Ambassador for SUNY Oswego. To me, EOP is a program that aids in student success, both during the time in college and for their professional life outside of college. The EOP program on any campus through the SUNY system is there for their students. They act like a family, they listen, they give advice, and they help us navigate the traditional educational system as a whole. And the people in EOP are very personable. Friendships with your fellow EOP students and advisors will make you feel at home on your campus. And these are all a few perks of the many that EOP has for the students. I hope that the people who listen to this podcast will see EOP in a new light, and it'll make them understand what the mission behind EOP is. And hopefully this curiosity that they will harbor will lead them to investigate the opportunities more at their college campus, which will lead to more success for them in the future.
My name is Rajbala Chowdhury, but I go by Raj. It's easier for everybody. I'm from Queens, New York, and I'm currently an EOP ambassador for SUNY Poly. To keep it short, I would say EOP to me means family. So coming from Queens, I was just very from home to school. So that was my routine. I didn't really go out much. I have a very overprotective Hispanic mother. So I wasn't really allowed to go out. So school was always it was just very present in my life, I would say. So when I was enrolling in college, for starters, I didn't think I was going to come to college because I thought I was going to enroll in the Navy like my siblings did. So I'm one of 5 and I'm the youngest. So out of my 5 siblings, I have 3 who went to the military. So since that was modeled to me, I thought, oh, well, I'm probably going to go to the Navy as well. But very last minute, my college advisor, Josh, he actually helped me enroll into college. And I didn't think I was going to go to SUNY's because my mom said, oh, if you do go to college, you're going to go to college in Manhattan, in the city. So when I saw SUNY Poly, they gave me a great financial aid package and everything. And on top of that, I was EOP eligible. So that was just such a great opportunity. And being away from home taught me wow, I'm an adult. I'm pretty responsible as is, but just being out of in this new environment, I was very lonely, especially coming in during COVID. It was very difficult to adjust, but I had my EOP director, Melissa Press, and she was able to kind of help me. She was my home away from home. So I was just I'm really grateful I have them, the whole EOP office here at SUNY Poly as that support system, because I feel it's just it's more beneficial, it's better. It makes me feel like I'm not alone. The main thing I want listeners to gain, assuming that it's incoming EOP students who are enrolling into college, or even if you're in first, second, third, even 4th year of college, I want you all to make sure you get involved. My first year, even though it was COVID, I was able to get involved into student government, and I was the director of DEI. I feel that really helped me not only build my character, but put myself out there more. And now look at me, I'm an EOP ambassador. I talk to all these SUNY, I talk to you, SUNY ambassadors from EOP ambassadors from New Paltz, etc. So it's just a really great way of connecting. And on top of that, you're able to know what resources you have, and just getting to know people. I feel it's very beneficial, and it helps you find your niche. You have let's say, at least in Poly, we have Magic the Gathering Club, we have student government, BLASU, a whole bunch of clubs. So just being able to know that, oh, there's more than these 3 clubs, and connecting with people. So make sure you get involved. It's very beneficial.
I definitely second that. Would you be able to explain what DEI means?
So DEI is diversity, equity, and inclusion. So my freshman year, it was a little difficult for me because everything was still in a virtual setting, but I still tried doing like trivias for Black History Month. I partnered with Sodexo, which was our food provider at the time, to have like soul food for a day. It was really nice. We also did stuff for Women's History Month, Hispanic Heritage Month, and I don't know, it was like very out of the ordinary for me because like in high school, I was pretty quiet. So I definitely got out of my shell over here, and I was just able to bring more like diversity and like make sure all cultures are being seen here on campus.
Hello, my name is Corey. My hometown is Richmondville, New York. I'm an EOP ambassador from SUNY Cobleskill, School of Ag and Technology. To me, EOP means community. It's a community, and it helped me get into the role of things with college. I hope listeners will gain the same feeling of community and guidance that I got when I joined EOP.
This podcast is a space for prospective and current students to hear the stories of EOP students, learn about the importance of this program, and discuss important topics that affect college students. Lastly, we will be sharing advice and tips on being a successful individual.
Thank you for tuning in on this episode of You, Me, and EOP.